I love rock and roll, Joan, Jett and the Blackhearts. Now let's break it down. It's a really easy song that you're playing most of the way with actually just your first finger, and every now and then your ring finger or your pinky kicks in. But I'm going to just focus more onto your fretting hand now so we can go through the chords and see what the basic layout is. Okay, as we said, we're focusing primarily now on your fretting hand. Watch the finger numbers. We said we're only using the first finger for most of the song. Obviously, we bring in other fingers later. Now, the opening chord, we're going to start with an E5, which should sound like this. Now, all I'm really strumming over here is my 6th and 5th string. So my strumming hand is going to be playing the 6th string and the 5th string. And if it happens to bring in the 4th, that's cool as well. So you're opening. And you'll notice I'm bringing my palm down to keep the guitar dead quiet. Very important, if you listen to the original song, the silent pauses in between make the song. So as you go from the first E5 to the second E5 double strum, that silent gap is crucial. On to the next chord. Okay, we've done the open E5. We've had the silent part, which we expand with the palm. And you'll also notice to keep the guitar quiet, I'm actually going and muting or resting my fingers rather, fingers 2 and 3, on the top string as well. So look what happens there. I relax the pressure here and I just let this rest on my strings. So it's actually a double muting. So your combined should look something like this. Should be able to get a nice overview of the muting here and the palm muting over here. So I'm going to get the bit more lighting to the back over there. Okay. Check this out. 2, 3, 4, and okay. Now I'm going to explain that part now. But the important part now is that, and you can see it's this and the palm combined to make sure that silent is crucial. And I'm going on about it, but that makes the song. Okay, now before we go to the A5, we're going to strike the open 6th string. And watch the middle finger. It goes to fret number 3 on the top string and a little bit of vibrato. The high-pitched sound is just a pinch harmonic that I like putting in. I grew up in the 80s. I like the 80s hard rock, so pinch harmonics were quite big then. But without the pinch harmonic, and with it, you can hear it goes higher there. And we put that 0, 3 in just before we play the A5 power chord, which is simply the same thing. All that happened is this finger started on the 5th string, had the 6th open, it moved down, and now the 5th is open, and we're strumming from the 5th string. So if you put the two together now and you have a look at the overview, and you especially watch where my pick is striking, you can see it starts on the 6th string. And there's that same silence muting combination of the fingers over here and the palm at the back. So one more time with me, 2 and 3 and 4 and next part is going to be, and what's actually happening there is our first chord where we're actually using 2 fingers. Now I like using my first finger and my pinky number 4. Some guitarists favor their first and their ring finger number 3, but either way, whatever your combination is, you're playing fret 2 on the 5th string, fret 4 on the 4th, and you can fret it across onto the 3rd as well if you want to, and that is B5. And after that, you got the little 0, 3, which will take us back to the beginning. And that's the first sort of 2/3 of the riff. So if you put the whole thing together now as an overview, we should have something like this. Let's count it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now the second part starts off the same. Same start as the beginning, but then we have our first quick little change, which is going to go. Now let's look at what that hand's doing. And it's going. But the 4 strums must be pretty quick. And it's B. When you go from the B to the A, you lose the pinky or the ring finger, depending which finger you're using. From the B to the A, notice very small movement with the first finger as it comes down to the A5, and then from there onto your E. So slow-mo, and that's pretty much your intro. And I'm going to take it through one more time you can play through with, and I want us to pay attention to how little your fretting hand is actually moving. Let's go 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then, or you could also do this. There's 2 riffs, and if you're playing with a friend, it sounds really cool if the one goes while the other in unison goes. It's just basically octaves, so whichever one you favor, that's cool. But I'm going to show you what to do for them. The first riff is going to start on the fret 2 of the 4th string. I'm not doing a pull-off, which means that the first finger puts some tension and then flicks off to the open string. So, and the 3rd note is going to be fret 2 again, 5th string. And after that, open 5th and jumps quickly to fret 3 on the top string. Super slow motion. I'm going to try and get the left and right hand involved now. Are you ready? 2 and 3 and 4 and. So what's your timing? 1, 2, 3, and that's your first riff. Now, if you want the higher pitched one, you go to fret number 5 on the 2nd string, and you pre-position your first finger onto the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So you're picking the note on the 5th, he's still there, you flick the ring finger off, that note takes off, middle finger comes to play, plays the 3rd string on the 4th fret, tiny pause, hand moves down slow motion, fret number 2, and you can pull off. So from a head-on view, your second riff will look something like this. There's riff number 2. And that comes in at the end of each line when they're singing as well. So while she sings, I saw you standing there by the record machine. So that little riff comes in at the end of the phrase, or you can do the lower one, same story. There by the record machine. Now obviously you know me well, so you'll realize that I don't sing. Okay, the second time round it goes, you must have been about 17, and it goes to a B, and you do the same riff again. After that, when she sings, baby come on strong, play my favorite song, that part there, it's just A, B, E, back to the A, and if you've got a tremolo arm, in other words, one of these little things here called the whammy bar tremolo arm, if you got one, it sounds pretty sweet, because then as you go out of that chord, it sounds pretty sweet if you do that. And all I'm doing up close, I'll put it to this angle so you can see the movement a bit better, is I'm strumming the chord and I'm pushing it down. And you can hear the effect. It's quite a cool effect. So that's what you can use a tremolo arm if you want to. And that is pretty much all you need for I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett. You got any questions? Let me know. You should have the PDF file, so everything should go well. And I hope it helps. Have an awesome week. Take care. Cheers.